Maya stood in the doorway of her university dorm room, staring at peeling wallpaper, cracked floors, and walls that reeked of mold. With no money to move and no family nearby to help, she made a quiet decision. She would fix it herself. When she finally posted photos of her room online, thousands of students stopped scrolling. Getting into her dream university was something Maya Collins had worked toward her entire life. When the acceptance letter arrived, she held it with trembling hands and cried tears of pure joy. But there was a problem. Money was tight. Her family had supported her education as much as they could, but covering living expenses at the university was simply beyond their means. Maya knew the choice ahead of her. The decision came quickly. She would go. She would find a way. The search for affordable housing became Maya's first real challenge. She spent weeks scrolling through listings. Then she found it. A small rental room listed at a price she could actually afford. Maya didn't have many options left, so she took it. She signed the papers, paid the deposit from her limited savings, and received the key. The door swung open. Maya stood frozen in the doorway. The room was worse than anything she had imagined. Wallpaper hung in long, peeling strips from the walls, revealing patches of stained plaster underneath. There was no furniture except for an old metal bed frame. How was she supposed to study, sleep, and survive in this place? But Maya didn't turn around. She would make it work. Somehow. Classes started the next week. Maya threw herself into her studies while simultaneously searching for part-time work. She landed a job at a small coffee shop near campus, starting shifts at 6 in the morning before her first class. The work was exhausting, but it paid. In the afternoon, she tutored younger students in subjects she excelled at. Every dollar Maya earned went into two places: her basic living expenses and a small emergency fund. She ate cheap meals, skipped social outings, and avoided spending money on anything that wasn't absolutely necessary. Maya called home regularly, but she never turned on her camera. She didn't want them to worry or feel guilty about not being able to help more. Academically, Maya was doing well. She kept up with her coursework and earned strong grades. But the real pressure came from the people around her. Classmates began asking where she lived. Friends suggested hanging out at her place instead of always meeting at coffee shops or the library. Maya deflected every time. But inside, she felt the weight of their curiosity. She knew they wouldn't understand. They would judge her. They would pity her. Or worse, they would spread rumors about her living conditions. What none of them knew was that Maya was working on something. Late at night, after finishing her homework and before collapsing into bed, she watched videos online, home renovation tutorials, DIY repair guides, tips for decorating on a budget. She took notes, saved ideas, and slowly began to form a plan. With her first month of saved earnings, Maya bought a single can of paint and a cheap brush. She spent an entire weekend scraping off the peeling wallpaper and painting one wall. The fresh coat of white made the room feel instantly brighter. The next month, she bought a second-hand lamp from a thrift store, then a small rug to cover the worst cracks in the floor, then curtains to replace the torn blinds. Progress was slow. Some weeks, Maya could only afford to buy one small item. Other weeks, unexpected expenses ate into her savings, and she had to start over. But she kept going. She learned how to fix minor wall damage using cheap spackling paste. She figured out how to sand and stain wooden furniture she found discarded on the street. She watched videos until she understood how to hang shelves without damaging the walls. Months passed. The room began to change. The walls were now clean and bright. The floor, though still old, was covered with rugs and no longer looked neglected. Maya had built a small bookshelf and filled it with plants she propagated from clippings. Her desk, assembled from secondhand furniture, was organized and inviting. Above it, she had written motivational quotes directly on the wall in neat handwriting. The transformation wasn't just physical. Maya felt different too. Every improvement to the room felt like proof that she could overcome obstacles. Every small upgrade reminded her why she was working so hard. This wasn't just about making her living space bearable. It was about refusing to let her circumstances define her future. One morning, Maya stood in the center of her room and looked around. She could hardly believe this was the same space she had walked into months earlier. The change was remarkable. She pulled out her phone and took several photos, capturing the warm light filtering through her curtains, the plants on her shelves, and the cozy corner she had created for reading. Then she did something she hadn't planned. She posted the photos online with a caption explaining her journey. She wrote about the dilapidated room she had started with, the multiple jobs she had worked, the careful budgeting, and the countless hours spent learning how to renovate on her own. She shared her story honestly, hoping it might encourage even one other person facing similar struggles. The response was immediate. Within hours, the post had hundreds of shares. By the next day, thousands of people had seen it. Messages poured in from students across the country and around the world. They told Maya her story had inspired them. They shared their own struggles with money, housing, and feeling alone in difficult situations. Some asked for specific advice about DIY projects or budgeting strategies. Maya's room had become more than just a place to sleep and study. It had become a symbol. It showed that starting from the bottom didn't mean staying there. It proved that determination, creativity, and refusing to give up could transform even the most hopeless situations into something beautiful. And you, what would you have done in Maya's shoes?